My parents breathed simplicity. Oxygen too, but that's pretty obvious. Dad was an assistant vice president for a humongous company, yet I didn't feel like I was a rich man's kid, because my parents made it a rule to live below their means. A millionaire's son rode a sleek Benz. I rode our 16-year-old Toyota that sounded more like a drum and bugle band with its cacophony of bangs, rattles, and whams. An heir of the moneyed class was chauffeured to school, but as early as grade 3, I was taking the public jeepney, sitting, standing, or swinging from its handrails like a flapping flag. The wealthy dined on gourmet meals every day, but the culinary highlight of my whole week was when Mom bought Coke for our Sunday lunch. The only time we tasted the stuff. I'm not kidding. Rich kids wore outfits from America, England, and Paris. I wore clothes from Avenida, Escolta, and Pasay. The mansions of the rich and famous are veritable furniture showcases, complete with 16 Egyptian jars from the Nefertiti era. I learned that one of those monstrous flower vases was equal to the price of our entire house. But naturally, we too had our own flower vases. If my archaeological knowledge serves me right, they came from the Nescafe era. Their estates have playrooms with life-size Barbies and Power Rangers, but the way I played with expensive toys was admiring them from the store shelf and using my imagination to the hilt. That way, I owned all the toys in the world. You'll be shocked by what I'm going to tell you, but through all this, I recall never feeling deprived in any way. Let me tell you why. I remember my father coming home every night, and we'd go jogging together around our old car parked in the garage. Dad says he wasn't vying for the Olympics anyway. Then I'd sit on his lap and we'd talk about how to solve the problems of the universe. After dinner, we'd read the comic pages together. Tarzan was my favorite until I reached puberty. From then on, it became Jane. Almost every Saturday afternoon, it was father and son time. We'd walk to the shopping center, and Dad would buy me a hot dog. Then we'd walk back home, bringing a little something for Mom, usually a chocolate bar. To add sentimental value to our token, I forced myself to take a few bites from it. I guess being with Dad and Mom were all that my little boy's heart ever wanted, and I got it every single day. I believe that God chose to write the map of happiness on the ordinary parchment of simplicity, like a treasure map written on recycled brown paper. Consequently, many people ignore the map and are attracted instead to the more glossy, loud, shiny maps around. But when they follow these old maps, they end up tired as a dog chasing its own tail. I have a radical suggestion. Simplify. Simplify because you want to discover the depths of your soul. Simplify because you want to start living deliberately. Simplify because you want to love from an uncluttered heart. Remember that simplicity is only the first step of the journey. Holding the treasure map, memorizing it, photocopying it 1,000 times, and keeping it safe in a vault won't make you claim the gold. You actually need to sail through oceans, climb peaks, cross valleys, and explore caves. Simplicity will point to you where and what and who the gold is in your life. Once you know your gold, the game has just begun. Will you treasure your gold? My parents knew their gold, each other, their 6 children, and their faith. They tried to live uncluttered lives so that they could have time for what was most important. They didn't busy themselves buying a bigger house because that would mean working harder to pay the monthly amortization, doing overtime work, or taking a second job. Who would then go jogging with Little Bo every night? Who would read Tarzan for him? They didn't burden themselves buying a BMW because that would mean laboring and worrying about installment bills. Besides, walking to the shopping center every Saturday afternoon with his son gave my dad his needed exercise and made Lil Bo feel special. One of the delights of my heart was seeing Dad and Mom in their bedroom at night after our nightly family prayer. The lights were turned off, and I'd see the silhouette of my father seated on his old chair, and Mom standing behind him, gently massaging his shoulders. I'd hear them talk about what transpired during their day. Even as a child, I sensed their quiet pleasure at being together. My question today: could they have done this rich ritual each night and nourish their marriage if they had been busy paying for designer outfits for themselves or their kids? Or if they had been worrying about monthly bills for new high-tech appliances? I don't think so. And I've made the choice. I don't want that kind of life either. It is then my pleasure to take you now through the peaks and valleys of this journey towards happy simplicity. Thank you for watching. If you like the video and want to see more, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. Again, thank you.